Well, we can take a closer look at the nuclear power plants that have been causing all the concern. And Fukushima, number 1, is the hardest hit power plant so far. There was a hydrogen explosion on Monday morning at the plant's number 3 reactor. The blast was felt at least 25 kilometers away. A similar explosion happened at the same plant on Saturday, but at the number 1 reactor. 4 workers were injured, but no damage was reported to the container holding the reactor's radioactive core. And a state of emergency had been reported at the Onagawa plant, although officials say that radioactivity levels have now returned to normal. Well, as the prospect of a nuclear disaster looms, Japan's government says it's doing all it can. Florence, Looi reports.
Officials had warned that a second explosion could happen at any time, and on Monday that warning came true. It was believed to have been triggered by a buildup of hydrogen and oxygen gases igniting in reactor number 3. Immediately, the government sought to allay fears of a major nuclear leak.
We believe there was only a low possibility of a major radiation leak, similar to when reactor number 1 exploded.
The Tokyo Electric Power Company believes the containment vessel is not damaged. However, with regards to radiation that might have leaked, they are now checking.
Residents remaining within a 20-kilometer radius of the nuclear plant have been told to stay indoors and keep their windows shut. 180,000 people had already been evacuated following Saturday's explosion at reactor number 1.
I don't understand the technical side of it at all, but I'm scared all the same.
Japanese officials have repeatedly stressed that contamination levels pose no long-term risk to health. 22 people have tested positive for radiation exposure. That number looks likely to rise. At Fukushima number 1 plant, the work to cool the reactors with a mixture of seawater and boric acid continues, an untested method, underscoring the desperate nature of the situation. Experts have said it could be days before temperature levels can be brought down. If that fails, the containers in the reactor could melt, releasing more radioactive material. The Japanese government may say its nuclear emergency is under control, but the explosion at reactor number 3 proves Japan's nuclear crisis is far from over. Florence, Looi, Al Jazeera.